So, good day, Mr. Soto. We are the Group 7, and our title is Development of the Employee Morale. So, to start the presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Chaslian C. Cruz from BSB MM2B, and now Group 7 are going to present our discussion. So, let's proceed. So, human resources are our company assets that must be maintained to keep the company in competitive advantage in this changing world of work. So while machines and other technological assets need maintenance and reformation, so employees are assets that could not be changed immediately by changing its parts, and the development of employee morale and job satisfaction should be considered as a maintenance factor that will keep the employee working efficiently and productively in the organization. Also, the objective of any company is the development of more concerned employees that will serve the company with loyalty and dedication. Along these lines, HRD plays the great task of keeping people in the organization by being aware of their needs, problems, and their personal aspiration in their work activities. Also, the company must understand its workforce as to their need and wants and how they react to different situations. So, managers get results from their employees, and this could be possible only by working hand in hand with subordinates who are motivated to contribute their best efforts towards the achievement of the company objectives and goals. The work environment must develop the employee morale toward productivity as the index of competitive advantage lies in the hand of the workforce whose working situations meet their demands and expectations. So now let us proceed to employee morale. So first, let us identify what is morale. So morale is the mental attitude that makes the employee performs his work willingly and enthusiastically. So it is the state that it is intangible to measure, and it is manifested in his attitude toward work and his relationships with the work environment. Since morale is intangible, it is present in varying degrees on how the employee reacts to the company policies, programs, his supervisors, his pay rewards, and those of his opportunities for his advancement in the company. Um, another definition is morale could be measured in terms of team spirit, loyalty, and employees' goodwill. So these qualities are indicated in the value of of the employee in his personal satisfaction, pride in his advancement, and willingness to work for the good and welfare of the company. Lastly, the development of morale rests on effective supervision and management of human resources as they are in direct or indirect contact with the employees concerned. So now let us proceed to the factors that influence the development of morale. So the first one is employee factor. So the employee's attitude and values are the results of his kind of education, social environment, and economic status. So the employee must be able to understand the company policies, rules, and regulations because these are indicative of the quality in the hiring procedure and selection of the employee. So at the initial stage of the employee's employment or during the orientation and training, policies and regulations of the company and how these are applied in the organization must be clear to the employee. So the employee must be exposed to the rudiments and work standards and working environment and the relationships of the employees in the workplace. So the employee must be properly appraised of his job performance periodically, such as assessment will develop the skill and attitude or effective delivery of work output. So generally, an employee wants to know his strong and weak points and how he can improve and contribute more to the organization. So he has personal aims and aspirations, and he also looks after his future in terms of promotion, increase in salary, and recognition. So the second one is management practices. So as properly emphasized in the previous discussion, the quality of supervision and management practices are the makings of the front managers and supervisors. So the development of high morale consists of programs and policies carried effectively into daily relationships of the supervisor and manager with the people they supervise. Also, it is the ability of the line managers to develop cooperation, teamwork, and understanding that will make the employee do willingly his daily work activities as he is inspired by his immediate superiors. So, the quality of supervisions and management depends on the supervisory and managerial skills ability in handling employee problems at the workplace. So supervisory and managerial training will be greatly help develop such skills and values. So the morale building program will steadily demonstrate good management practices in relation to its employees. So the management teams are in the front line to develop the organizational climate that makes up the feelings, beliefs, attitude, and behavior of the people at work. So the third one is environmental communication. So good employee and management relationship depends on the environmental communication. So open communication between the management and employee is the basic in all relationships. So the different levels in the organizational structure must open up the communication channels from the top management to the lowest channels, which are the people down the line. So the delegation of authority and responsibility must be firmly established in the system of communication so that conflicts are easily resolved and actions are facilitated and effectively carried out. So I'm gonna tell you, or I'm gonna explain the following are the requirements of effective communication. So the first one is stress openness, fairness, and direct to the point communication. Also, we have to avoid words and phrases that are not properly understood, because we don't want us to be misunderstood. Also, it is important for the company to avoid conflicts. So the second one is encourage feedback and immediate response from the receiver. So we have to be productive. We have to listen to our managers, to our customers, to our co-workers. So we will be able to have a good communication. The third one is listen attentively and understand the meaning of the message for the greater understanding of all. For example, memorandum, bulletins, verbal channels, and other media. Third one is repeat communications when necessary. Remove barriers in the communication and be sure that you are properly understood. So the last one is social and environmental factors. So the social conditions outside the work environment play to some extent on the development of employee morale. His mental and emotional conditions are influenced by the social forces to which the employee is exposed daily. For example, the family and his community greatly influence his attitude and values, and this have some bearing on the employee's attitude toward the company. So the union or employee organization where forums and opinions are hatched and discussed exerts strong influence on the morale of the employee toward his company. So to counteract and development more concerned employees, the management must develop social programs within the organizational environment. Good employee morale could be developed through the following. So, for example, recreational activities. And company recreational activities must focus on the development of teamwork and cooperation among employees, and positive attitudes toward the attainment of moral values. Second one is social activities. Company social such as annual outings, Christmas parties, and other important company gatherings are venues for social development. Third one is athletic program. So all year round athletic competitions and departmental athletic activities would channel the extra energy and development cooperative attitudes that in turn develop employee morale. Last one is training program. This could be formal settings where employees discuss both technical and value formation topics that could greatly influence the development of employee morale toward the company's objectives and goals. So now let us proceed to the role of motivation in the development of employee morale. So managers and supervisors get things done through the work of the people under their direct change. So motivating the employees to perform well is of major concern to all managers and supervisors, and this plays a great role in the development of employee morale. So the word motivation and motivating are derived from the word motives, which are drives, impulses, or desires that move toward the desired goal and objective. So a motive is an inner state of the employee mental process that directs him to seek to satisfy a felt need that develop his morale towards the attainment of a personal goal or purpose. So along these lines, managerial motivation is the process by which managers and supervisors stimulate employee behavior and direct it toward achieving desired personal and organizational objectives. So, organizational performance results from the interaction of the four factors of production, which are physical, financial, material, and human resources. So these three other factors are inanimate and could be translated only when the human element is introduced. So the human element is a variable factor in performance efficiency, could result only if they are properly motivated to achieve the desired quality and quantity of output. So this human quality leads to the needs for positive motivation that will increase the intangible factors of will, violation, and freedom of choice. So the increase or decrease of managerial motivation determines the rate of performance and production output. So the employee performance in the workplace is the result of the skills and abilities and the degree of motivation that comes from effective managerial leadership. It is axiomatic for managers to expect the self-motivations has to do much in employees' job performance and to assume that anyone can be motivated if he tries hard. The motive for performance must come from within the employee's inner drive, and it only occurs only when he is motivated to do something for his interest and wants. And the skills and abilities determine what the employee can do, but it is the motivation that determines what he will do. So, as ability and skills are related to performance output varies proportionately with the increase in positive motivation. So, I'm gonna give an example of the following are in the following indicative of good performance and personal satisfaction. First one is personal accomplishments, praise for good work. Third one is getting along with coworkers. Next is getting credit for good ideas and implemented by management. Next is having a capable supervisor. Next is having challenging work responsibilities. Also, being kept informed, participating in decision making, company location and availability in transport, and lastly, knowing the parameters of what is expected of them. So most of our managers and supervisors assume that employee must be stimulated to do what they want to do. And this is not all true. And as most people have a natural built-in motivation, the managerial motivational factor is necessary to appeal to self-motivation. And when there are signs of declining motivation, and then positive reinforcement will do the trick. So I'm gonna call the next reporter, which is she's going to explain the theories of motivation that affect the moral and performance. So may I call Miss Anne Monsuelo?
Before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Juniela Ann Monsuelo from BSBA MM2B. Now I'm going to discuss about theories of motivation that affect moral and performance. The different theories of motivation that were expounded by different management experts play a great role in the development of employees' productivity at work. The first theories of motivation that affect moral and performance is a Maslow hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow developed the theory based on the hierarchy of human needs. According to him, the human needs through 5 basic levels, which are as follows. First is psychological needs. Second is safety and security needs. Third is social needs. Next is esteem and status needs. And last is self-actualization needs. Maslow hierarchy of needs is a theory of motivation which states that 5 categories of human needs dictate an individual behavior. The first is psychological needs. This is the first ID-driven lover needs on Maslow hierarchy. Ito yung psychological needs. Ito yung most basic human survival needs. Include food and water, sufficient rest, clothing, and shelter, overall health. Maslow states that these basic psychological needs must be addressed before human on the next level of fulfillment. Next is safety and security needs. Ito naman yung lower needs sa safety. Safety needs include protection from violence and death, emotional stability and well-being, and health security, and last is financial security. Next is social needs. The social needs are the third level of Maslow. Maslow's hierarchy relate to human interactions. Yung social needs, naka-involve dito yung pakikipag-interact mo sa iba't ibang group ng, for example, yung love, friendship, affections, and acceptance. Next is esteem and status need, beginning with esteem and drive-in needs. The primary elements of esteem are self-respect and self-esteem. Next is self-actualization needs. Ito yung pinakamataas na kailangan dun sa Maslow hierarchy, dun sa pyramid ng Maslow pyramid. Ito yung pinakamataas. Ito yung tinatawag na self-actualization, which involves a person knowing themselves, understanding their full potential, and reaching it. Next is second on theories of motivation that affect moral and performance. Herzberg motivation hygienic theory. Frederick Herzberg theorized that employee satisfaction has 2 dimensions. Ito yung hygiene and motivators. Yung hygienic, ito yung about dun sa salary and dun sa supervision. nagdi-decrease siya ng mga employees kapag dissatisfaction dun sa work environment. Yung motivators naman, ito yung recognition and achievement. Ito yung para yung mga workers, pati yung mga employees para maging productive, maging creative, and committed dun sa kanilang ginagawa o dun sa kanilang pinagtatrabahuhan. Next is McClelland Achievement Motive Theory. This theory says that humans have 3 types of emotional needs. First is achievement, power, and affiliation. Individuals can have any mix of these needs. Their motivations and behaviors are shaped by the strength and blend of their specific needs. And last is expectancy theory. This theory says that an employee motivations is what pushes them to perform at a certain level on the work. The amount or level his performance is a direct outcome of how he views the advantage such as higher salaries or other business incentives.
So, improving employee self-perception. So, question, why is it important to improve the self-perception of an employee? So, sa loob ng kumpanya kasi, hindi lang naman siya yung nandun. Siyempre, may mga kasama din siya mga kapwa niya employee doon. So, mahalaga na mag-improve yung self-perception niya kasi para matuto siyang makisama, maayos siya mag-isip or hindi siya toxic na tao. Kasi siyempre, kapag toxic siya, chances are, mahirapan din siya pakisamahan ng mga ka-workmates niya. So, dapat may etiquette din siya and proper manners sa boss niya, sa mga seniors niya, and also sa mga ka-level niya din na employee. So, the following are self-perceptual models or perceptual models. So, number 1, factors of production approach. So, dito daw yung employees, isa din daw uri ng factors of production ng employees. So, nagagamit din sila para mag-produce ng goods and services. So, dito, sinabi din dito sa factors of production approach, yung mga employees dito is considered sila as Theory X. So, sila yung most likely na if ever hindi sila magtatrabaho or hanggat kaya nilang i-avoid yung responsibilities, hindi nila gagawin o hindi nila kukunin. So, number 2, human relations approach. So, dito daw, yung mga employees, they like to be treated as human. So, as human, may pagkakapantay-pantay and also, yung mga pangangailangan. So, yung mga employees daw sa human relations approach is considered as Theory Y. So, dito, they like working especially with a team and initiative din sila and only need to be motivated. So, also they accept responsibility. So, dito may sinabi the model for this management method is employee participation, job satisfaction, and increased productivity. So, under this concept, motivations of great work kasi mas na-maximize yung potential ng isang employee. So, next natin is number 3, human resource approach. So, dito, yung sa employee, economic resource siya ng organization. So, dito sinusukat yung pagiging productive, efficient ng employee o effectiveness niya, and etc. So, dito din, inaalam or nalalaman if yung employees is pasok ba siya sa Theory X or sa Theory Y. So, dito, supervisor o yung mga manager nila is nag-a-adjust sila sa work area ng employee if saan sila mas nararapat. And also, dapat yung mga supervisor din and manager, dapat alam nilang mag-analyze ng human behavior or human relations para alam din nila syempre yung gagawin nila or paano i-manage yung employee. So next is how a supervisor can motivate. So kalagay dito, if employee allows to take some control over what they do. So meaning, if hahayaan mo, o kasi dito kapag sinabi kasi ganito, feel ng empleyado parang pinagkakatiwalaan siya dun sa bagay na o task na pinagkatiwala sa kanya. Like, mararamdaman niya sa sarili niya na may tiwala sa kanya yung mga boss niya. So, kahit sino naman siguro, mas mabibigay nila yung best nila if ramdam nila na may tiwala sa kanila or walang doubt sa kanila yung mga supervisor nila. Syempre, nakakagaan din sa pakiramdam yun. Next is, if they find it interesting, they're more likely to give their full attention and enthusiasm. So, kapag gusto nila yung bagay o yung trabaho na ginagawa nila, dun kasi mas lumalabas yung kakayahan nila o yung creativity nila, yung productivity nila, mas nailalabas o mas na-maximize nila yung full potential nila if interesado sila doon sa bagay na yun. So, the following are some work-related motivators for employees. So, number 1, job rotation. So, dito, hindi lang sa iisang pwesto o sa iisang trabaho nakastay yung empleyado. So, parang nagkakaroon ng thrill yung ginagawa niya. Like, i-assign siya sa ganito, sa ganyan. Pero, dito, dapat, ano pa din, fit pa din siya dun sa i-assign sa kanya. So, syempre, hindi naman pwede na ganito yung trabaho na ginagawa niya, tapos ipapasok mo siya dun sa bagay na hindi niya ginagawa or hindi niya yun porte. So, para siya magiging creative doon or paano siya magiging productive doon, paano niya din may bibigay yung best niya if ginagawa niya yung bagay na hindi niya rin gusto or hindi nga siya interesado. So, number 2 is cross-training. So, yung cross-training, related siya sa job rotation. Kasi, dito, nag-undergo naman ng other trainings yung certain employees. So, nag-undergo siya ng other trainings to unlock or to acquire new learnings or new skills. So, it serves as motivating factors to perform other jobs. Next is number 3, job enlargement. So, mas nagiging interesting daw yung trabaho if nag-a-add yung mga supervisor, yung mga boss nila, managers nila ng variety of duties. So, yun nga, nagdadagdag sila ng trabaho. Magbibigay ng task sa kanila ng bago. So, parang nagkakaroon ng thrill yung mga ginagawa nila. Kasi minsan, kapag paulit-ulit yung ginagawa mo, pasinin nyo, kapag paulit-ulit yung ginagawa mo sa isang araw, tapos inaraw-araw mo pa yun, mababagot ka talaga. Kahit sino mababagot dun, mayayamot talaga kapag ganun. So, last is job enrichment. So, dito, binibigyan yung employee ng more responsibility and also, nire-recognize yung mga ginagawa nila. Like, pag may nagawa silang maganda o mabuti, binibigyan sila ng reward or nire-recognize ng mga leaders and supervisors nila yung mga nagagawa nila. Yun lang.
My name is Jasper Janes Capsino from BSBA 2B. Having high expectation, it's common for professionals to feel overwhelmed at work if they face unrealistic expectation from their supervisors. Without the ability to set reasonable boundaries, establish priorities, and maintain a healthy work-life balance, it can be challenging to foster success in your role. If you're facing unrealistic expectation at work, there are few strategies you can use to navigate such a situation effectively. In this article, we offer a few examples of unrealistic expectation you may encounter at work and outline. Provide employee rewards that are valued. Most business owners have clear goals to reduce their costs whilst improving the quality and sometimes quantity of work coming from their employees. In a competitive business climate, careful consideration need to be made when it comes to getting more out of your workforce. Attracting and retaining outstanding performance and improving employee productivity can be achieved in a number of ways, ranging from work perks to greater flexibility. Although new ideas should be discounted, employee recognition, if a play-sale strategy can be implemented in small and large business alike. Treating employees as individual consistent treatment of employees in the workplace build trust, enhance morale, depends loyalty, and spurs productivity. By contrast, favoritism breeds animosity and resentment toward favored individuals and the employer. A commitment to fair treatment at work enhance the reputation of the company and helps with recruitment of top talent. Strategies for achieving workplace fairness include articulated expectation of fairness, well-written policies, commitment to equitable practice, and unbiased, consistent enforcement of rules. Thank you, sir, for wonderful read.
Good day, my name is Kaya Peñaranda, one of the reporter of Group 7. So, money as motivator. So, sabi dito, the theories of motivation imply that money motivates people when it meets their needs. If money motivates employees, they must believe that they are able to achieve financial rewards that the company offers. So, the organization assumes that the main thing employees want out of employment is the monetary consideration or yung pagsaalang-alang ng pera or yung paggamit paggamit ng pera sa labas ng organisasyon. So, sabi dito, namomotivate ng pera ang isang tao lalo na kapag na-meet nito yung mga needs ng mga tao. So, gaya nito yung mga pagkain, yung luho mo, yung mga damit, yung mga pangangailangan mo sa araw-araw. And syempre, hindi mo naman ito mabibili kung walang pera or wala kang ipangbabayad. So, most of the people get employment to support their needs and wants, especially para rin sa pamilya nila. And yung iba dito, 100% na nagtatrabaho sila because of the money. So, if money motivates employees, they must believe that the company offers, if money motivates employees, they must believe that they are able to achieve financial rewards that the company offers. So, the only way to truly motivate employees to channel their passion is by giving the work that feels meaningful to them. So, most people are motivated by money, and cash, incentives, rewards, bonuses is a fair and effective way to for management to show appreciation to hardworking employees. So, meron tayong tinatawag na financial incentives and piecework and production bonus. So, in financial incentives, sabi dito, the way the pay plan is structured can influence the degree to which the employees are motivated to perform well. So, in financial incentives, it motivates employees and let them know what they stand to gain or lose based on their performance. So, 'di ba kapag sinabi nating incentives, isa tong reward na pinapatupad or ini-introduce sa workplace to encourage employee na mas galingan pa niya sa pagtatrabaho, mas galingan pa yung performance niya sa workplace. It can be object or materials and pwede ring financial. So, bakit nga ba nagbibigay ng incentives? Kasi parehas na nakikinabang si employer at employee. Kay employer, dahil maganda ang performance ni employee and nalagpasan niya yung quota na ini-aim ng company, ang balik nun, ang feedback nun sa company is maganda. And, syempre, dahil nagawa ni employee ng maganda yung trabaho niya, nagawa niya ng maayos, yung work niya, nalagpasan niya yung quota na ini-aim ng company, maganda rin yung balik kay employee dahil makakatanggap siya ng reward galing sa company, galing sa employer. So that is financial incentives. In piecework and production bonus, sabi dito, some companies pay for additional piecework produced that is over and above the production quota. So, ang employee, binabayaran sila per production, per unit, or item completed instead na bayaran sila per hours. So, meaning to say, if money is the motivator, then employees work harder and longer hours to finish more projects since per production yung binabayad sa kanila. So, biruin mo, ang trabaho mo is magdikit at gumawa ng birdhouse. And sabihin na lang natin na sabihin na lang natin na 8 hours yung work mo sa paggawa ng birdhouse. And sa 8 hours na yon is 30 pieces. 30 pieces yung nagawa mo na birdhouse. So, kada isang birdhouse, binabayaran ka ng 20 pesos. So, yung 20 pesos, i-times mo siya ngayon sa bilang na nagawa mo, which is yung 30 pieces. So, 20 times 30 is equals to 16. 20, 16 tuloy, 600. May overtime pa, di mas malaki yung kikitain mo. So, that is piecework na encourage or na motivate ang mga employees or ang mga workers na maging productive and time efficient. And paying per piece can motivate employees to produce more and to work harder. So in production bonus naman, some companies pay additional production bonus outside of the regular salaries and wages. Sinasabi dito na ang ibang companies ay nagbibigay ng bonus or rewards outside the professionals usual pay or yung karaniwang salaries or yung sinasahod mo. So nagbibigay lang sila for those employees that meets or exceeds certain performance or production's expectation. For example, ang monthly salary mo is 15,000 pesos. So, i-times mo siya sa 10%. Yung 10% na yon yung bonus mo. So, 15 times 10% is equals to 1.5. So, that is a production bonus. So, the following are additional incentive pay system. Number 1 is piece rate. So, sabi dito, some companies pay additional premiums for additional pieces of work accomplished more than the required quota for production. So, in piece rate, gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, sa piecework, ang rate mo dito is binabayaran ka kada unit. Or for example, yung sa birdhouse nga, in example ko kanina na kada isang birdhouse binabayaran ka ng 20 pesos. And sa loob ng 8 hours, naka 30 pieces ka. So, i-times mo yung 20 sa bilang na nagawa mong birdhouse. That is 600. So, they paid by the unit performed instead of being paid in the basis of time spent on the job. So, next, production bonus system. When sales are at their peak and workers are required to produce more goods, to capitalize on the increase in sales, management may award production bonuses in excess of the regular production quota. Nasabi ko na rin kanina kung ano yung sistema ng production bonus sa workplace. So again, it's designed to reward improve productivity and quality. So para mas lalong ma-motivate ang mga employee na i-improve ang performance na i-improve ang performance nila at lagpasan yung quota dahil nga sa bonus na matatanggap nila kung sakaling galingan pa nila sa trabaho. Kung baga, extra payment nila to sa mga extra payment to ng mga workers for being more productive. Next, commissions. So these are incentives usually given to sales people who sold goods or services more than the required quota. So halimbawa nito is ako, may-ari ako ng condominium. Kumuha ko ng agent or sales rep. So ang gagawin ni agent, hahanap siya ng buyer para sa condo ko. So, let's say, nakabenta siya ng isang condo unit for 150,000K. And meron siyang makukuhang 10% doon. So, meron siyang makukuhang 10% na commission doon. So, kada makakabenta siya ng isang unit is makakakuha siya ng commission. So, this motivates employers to produce more and cover more sales territories, so hindi na rin siya masama. Next, payment for suggestion system. Sabi dito, to encourage employees to think of product improvement or methods improvement and make better products or reduce working time schedule, employees are rewarded for good suggestion. So, dito naman, ine-encourage naman ng mga employees na mag-isip ng mga product or new product, design, etc. So, minomotivate ang mga employees para magbigay ng suggestion from the word itself, payment for suggestion system. By giving good suggestion to the company or organization, the employees are rewarded for that. And dahil sa incentives, sa reward na matatanggap mo is mas lalo kang mamomotivate na pagbutihan na makapagbigay ka pa ng mga suggestion sa company. So that is payment for suggestion systems. Next, group incentive plan. A financial incentive plan that rewards a team of workers for meeting or exceeding the target objectives. So, in group incentives plan naman, when we say group incentive plan, ito naman yung incentive na makukuha ng isang group or team of workers. And, for example, itong group under the sales is nalagpasan nila yung quota na dapat para sa araw na yon. So, dahil nalagpasan nila, mas nahigitan pa nila yung sales na nakuha nila, may matatanggap silang rewards mula sa company. So, it can be cash or object. It depends on the company. So, this works ini-aim nila or may objective sila na kailangang ma-meet. So, that is group incentive plan. Next is the profit sharing plan. This is a group incentive plan under which company sets aside a share of its profit and divides it among the employees. So, in profit sharing plan, defined as contribution portion plan, so which the workers and employees are allowed to obtain their share in the overall profits of the organization or the company. So, nang sa ganun, ma-encourage sila na mag-contribute pa at mas lalo pa dumami or lumaki yung profit ng organization. it is an incentive plan that gives variable benefit to the employers based on the certain percentage of profit. So, kumbaga, win-win situation to. The employers and employees. It encourages the employees to give their best efforts in the organization or the company, habang ang company naman ay nag-generate pa ng mas malaking profits at pinapalago pa nila yung company. So, win-win situation. Both parties benefited from increased earnings. So, for example, ABC Corporation earns an annual profit of 500,000 for 500,000. So, yung company, nag-employ sila ng 3 employees, si X, Y, and Z. Now that the employees earn an income of 400,000 for X, and for Y, naka-earn siya ng 200,000, si Zayn naman is naka-earn ng 400,000. So, the company has the policy of a 10% profit sharing plan. So, ang profit is 50,000 pesos, being 10% of profit sharing plan. Sa paghahati-hatian nilang 3 employee na si X, Y, and Z, yung ang tawag dito, paghahati-hatian ng 3 yung profit na yon, si X, Y, and Z. So, si X, naka-earn siya ng 400. I-times mo siya sa 50,000 pesos, which is yung 10% na profit plan ng company. So, 50,000 times yung kinita ni X na 400,000 pesos is equals to 20 billion. Ngayon, yung 20 billion, i-divide mo siya sa total earnings nyong 3. Sa total earnings ng 3, si X, Y, and Z. So, 400 plus 200,000 pesos plus 400,000 pesos again. So, that is 1 million. So, 20 billion, i-divide mo siya sa 1 million na pinagsama-samang earnings ng X, Y, and Z. So, it equals to 20,000 pesos. So, ang natanggap ni X or kinita niya is 20,000 pesos. Ganun din yung computation sa kay Y and Z. Ganun lang din yung computation katulad sa X. Last, gain sharing. So, this is a group incentive plan in which the organization encourages employees to participate in making suggestions, decisions, and then rewards the group with a share of improved earnings. So, gain sharing is isa siyang sistema or program na nagbibigay ng incentive sa lahat ng employees ng isang company. Ang gain share plan, for example, pwede tong buwanan, quarterly, or pwede ring annual bonus. So, typically, gain sharing is tied to company performance. So, for example, si Juan, nagtatrabaho siya sa isang hotel, and ang bilang ng taon na nagtrabaho siya doon is 10 years na. So, si Juan is 10 years na nagtatrabaho sa hotel. And recently, the company implemented gain share plan that is going to give all employers bonuses on quarterly so, yung mga employees, makakatanggap sila ng bonus based on quarterly customer satisfaction goals. So, may goals sila na about customer satisfaction. So, kapag ang hotel or company ma-meet yung goal na nakaset for customer satisfaction, Then, si company ay magbibigay ng 5% sa lahat ng employees. So, that is gain sharing plan or gain sharing.